This year, it felt like autumn came very quick and sudden, and it went by just as quick. It was very rainy and gloomy, so whenever a nice day was forecasted, I made sure to be out and enjoy it. One of these nice days was a Wednesday, and I had so much work to do, designing new cards, preparing for markets, and so on. But living in a cold and rainy climate, I've learned that one must make the most of sunny days whenever they arrive. So I decided to ditch work and go for a day trip to my favorite forest nearby. I left very early because I wanted to be in the forest for sunrise in case it was foggy. That meant being in an unfamiliar place alone in the dark, which was making me very nervous. In addition, I was very tired and sleepy on the train. It felt so wrong going on this trip, and I was so nervous that something was going to happen because I wasn't supposed to be there. I saw people rushing to go to their jobs or school, or going in the opposite direction while I was about to just waste my day and have fun. Like I don't deserve to enjoy my time while everyone is stuck at their obligations. It's just not fair. The sky finally had started to light up a little bit. It was still too dark to go into the forest, but it would probably be bright enough by the time I got there. The train traveled through the dark forest like in a black void, and I was second guessing my whole trip even more. I was the only person to get off at the small train station in the middle of the woods. I felt like I'd be the person who's about to go missing at the beginning of a mystery story. The people on that train were the last to ever see her. I could hear the voice of the narrator in my head. Finally, I was walking in the forest. It was beautiful and peaceful. The birds are a lot more quiet at this time of year. The air was icy and smelled of wet earth, mushrooms, and smoke. There was no fog this morning, no majestic views, but right at that moment, it felt like the best place I could be at. It was now much warmer and brighter, and that eerie feeling of impending doom was long gone. The forest was now soaked in sunlight, and that made the rusty ferns, the yellow birch leaves, and the dry grass shine. I've been walking for maybe 2 hours and didn't meet anyone. I had the forest all to myself. What a beautiful luxury. I felt guilty once again for taking a day off, just to enjoy a quiet walk instead of being productive. The whole world woke up and went to work, and I went to the forest. But to me, it's the one place that's really worth going to. I remember very well what's like to wake up tired and to have to rush to a job, to be stuck there while the seasons are changing outside, and to miss out on beautiful little moments. I remembered one time when I was in school. During the lunch break, I wandered off towards the edge of the schoolyard, where most of the time no one went. There were some small trees and shrubs, an unkept overgrown field, a small hill that was actually the soil dug up for the foundations of the school that never got leveled. There was an open view towards the mountains. It was nothing special, but it was quiet and it had some semblance of nature, and it felt like a little escape. I lost track of time, fantasizing I was away in the mountains and was only brought back when I suddenly heard the teacher screaming my name. She was angrily waving from the window and it was way past lunch break. I rushed back to be yelled at and laughed at for my little adventure in front of the whole class. In some way, I'm still that little girl that is seeking peace away from the crowd, trying to escape the shoots and the musts, but I'm also the teacher, constantly yelling at myself to get back in line, be on time, sit still and follow along as everyone else. I wonder if I'd ever be able to follow my own adventures guilt-free. I've been walking without a plan or direction, but then decided to follow the signs to the big lake and have lunch there. I noticed some dark clouds creeping behind me. It was not supposed to rain that day, and I hoped it wouldn't, as I was not prepared for that at all. It suddenly got very windy too, and it seemed like a storm was hanging right over me. The punishment for my frivolity has arrived, I guess. In the end, it didn't rain. The clouds passed, and it was sunny and warm and wonderful again. I found an open space in the forest where I could just sit and enjoy the sun and be still for a moment. I guess there was no punishment coming. What if I was allowed to be here? What if it was okay? What if this day was a reward for myself? What if it was a small way to try and make up for all the days I lost stuck at a job or at school doing something meaningless to me? What if this was fine? Whenever I take time to go into nature instead of doing whatever I should have been doing, I always ask myself, what would I wish I did 50 years from now? What would matter more to future me? What would I remember? What would I feel like I missed out on if I didn't do it? And the answer is always going to nature.